sinking feeling when you've spent half an hour or maybe longer creating a post and you've thought carefully about what you want to say, you've made it meaningful, helpful, you finally hit publish and then crickets? It's disheartening. And if it happens repeatedly, it's very tempting to think, well, what's the point? But low engagement does not always mean that your content is bad or that you're bad at content. Often it's a sign of something deeper. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. I'm Rachel Roberts, and I help freelance language professionals build businesses that are aligned, sustainable, and profitable without burning out, selling out, or spending half their lives on social media. And if you've ever felt like your content is falling into a void, you're not alone. In this video, we'll explore why good content sometimes gets no response, what low engagement actually tells you and what it doesn't, and how to adjust without burning it all down and starting over. This isn't about hacks, it's about clarity, connection, and showing up in a way that really works. That feeling of getting nothing back from your content, it's horrible, but it doesn't mean what you think it means. Crickets are not necessarily failure, they're feedback. But the question is, feedback on what? It might be your message, it might be your audience, it might even be your expectations. The mistake most people make is assuming that engagement equals value. But engagement is just one measure. It's a surface level response. And particularly if your clients are language learners, there's a good chance that they don't want to expose themselves by potentially making a mistake in their English in responding to one of your posts with a comment. The likes and comments that you get don't show who's quietly watching, who's thinking. Some of your best fit clients will lurk for months before they actually get in touch or say a word. So we do need to pay attention when our content is getting crickets, but we shouldn't be jumping immediately to self-blame. The place to start is by getting curious. When a piece of content doesn't land, the first thing to ask is, where are you sharing it? Some platforms are naturally more responsive than others. Instagram stories, for example, will get far more reactions than a post on the grid. LinkedIn also tends to favour certain formats over others. Currently, apparently, vertical video and carousels are doing well. Even the time of day can make a difference. So before you start rewriting your whole strategy, consider the practical elements. But even more important than this, consider who is seeing it, because your content may be relevant but being shown to the wrong audience. And if that's the case, it won't perform. And in that case, the fix isn't write better content, it's improve audience alignment, get clearer on your message, and maybe take a look at your platform strategy. Because are your right fit people actually hanging out on the platform or platforms that you're using? Let's assume that your audience is broadly right and that you're on the right platform and that you're showing up consistently, but you're still getting that silence. One of the most common causes then is lack of clarity in what you're putting across. Your reader or watcher doesn't quite know who you're talking to, or what you're offering, or why it matters to them. And when that happens, they scroll on. Not because what you did was boring, but because they didn't quite realise that the post was for them. And this is where refining your messaging is so powerful. Not by shouting louder, but by making it easier for someone to instantly think, oh, that sounds like me. And it can just be small tweaks to phrasing or positioning or how you frame the problem that can make all the difference. It's not about writing for everyone. It's about writing so that the right person recognizes themselves. Here's something else I want you to hear. Not all value shows up as likes or shares or saves. Some people are quietly absorbing your work, reflecting on it, mentally bookmarking you for later. I've often had clients tell me that they've been following me for a year or two, and that only now do they feel ready to reach out. And that's not at all unusual when I talk to my clients about their clients as well. It's very easy to underestimate the power of being consistent and overestimate the power of going viral. You don't need the instant validation that brings. You need ongoing resonance. So yes, engagement matters because engagement is what tells the algorithm to show your post to more people. But so does building that slow burn relationship with your audience, especially if your service is something that requires high trust, that's personal, that's perhaps a higher investment, and therefore not something that people buy quickly on impulse. Another mistake I often see people making is asking too much too soon. Sometimes your content is good, but you're asking too much of people. You're asking them to book a call while they're still figuring out if they trust you. Especially on platforms where people scroll quickly and silently, we need to lower the friction. And instead of always asking for big actions, experiment with smaller ones. Maybe a yes/no question or a one-line takeaway. Not every post needs to ask people to book a call, but it does need to make the reader or watcher feel something, to feel seen or heard or inspired or curious. And that emotional connection is what helps people to move forward, even if they don't respond right away. When your content gets crickets, it's really easy to assume that you're doing something wrong and to stop posting, to pull back, or reinvent yourself completely into someone you're not. But most of the time, the answer is not to stop. It's to ask yourself those simple questions. Am I clear about who exactly it is I'm talking to? Am I making it easy for them to see themselves here? Am I showing up regularly enough to build trust? And if the answer to any of those is, well, not quite, then that's the place to start. But don't let silence convince you that you're invisible. You might just be in progress, because with the right people, the right message, and a bit of consistency, progress and connection is inevitable. In the third and final video in this series, we'll explore the real reason your dream clients might not be finding you and how to make yourself easier to discover and easier to say yes to. And if you want more help from me, check the description below this post, because in July I'm running a 3-week challenge to help you work through 10 tasks to grow your right fit audience. Until then, keep going, stay curious, and remember, don't confuse silence with failure.